It is Sunday, the 22nd of December, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Here we are at the end of our Tally Hall week, and we're finishing it up with the final track on their first album, which is called Hidden in the Sand. Now, this song, as the name might imply, is a hidden track. In the original Welcome to Tally Hall EP, it was a hidden track. On Complete Demos, it was a hidden track. And on both versions of Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum, it was a hidden track. It, in fact, doesn't list it as a track on the back, but in the liner, it actually says the words Hidden in the Sand, which is how people came to call it that, because originally it was just untitled hidden track, right? But it actually says Hidden in the Sand on the artwork, so that's how you know that's what it's actually called. And this song is an interesting one because in recent times it's become one of Tally Hall's most well-known songs, and that's mostly because it blew up on TikTok a few years ago. Now, this is before I was on TikTok, so I didn't see this, but I mean, I've known this song longer than YouTube has existed, but that's not true, but a long time. And this is in fact my favorite Tally Hall song and one of my favorite songs of all time, and it's such a short, sweet thing, kind of odd, but I mean, that's Tally Hall for you. And people are sometimes surprised when I say it's my favorite one, but it just always has been. And I have some things to say about it. And I will once again recommend the music video for this one. I think this is one of those ones where the music video doesn't enhance the song in the sense that it's not really related to the song. It's just a great music video and you should watch it. But anyway, before we listen to it, just bear in mind that depending on which version you're listening to, there's the sound of waves at the start, and in some versions that goes on for quite a while. That's because Ruler of Everything ends with the sound of waves, so this kind of carries it in, and then after a while the waves give way to the music. Anyway, let's go listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. And that is Hidden in the Sand. I just love the feel of this song. I love the old-timey feel of it. Just Joe's voice with the ukulele and the vocal harmonies doing the ooh. And then at the end, the vocal harmonies kind of take over the song, you know? I just love the way it sounds. It sounds really nice. Fun fact, by the way, there is a musician called Molly Lewis, previously known as Sweet Afton 23. Yes, I remember her original YouTube name. She did like ukulele covers on YouTube, particularly a cover of Toxic, I feel like was a big hit back in the day. I later discovered that she like tied all of my fandoms together because she has covered this song Hidden in the Sand. She has also covered songs by Tom Lehrer, Jonathan Colton. I might have talked about this in one of my Jonathan Colton episodes, actually. I mean, she's a regular guest on the Joko Cruise, and she entered like the same songwriting thing I don't know the name of as Hank Green. She's a regular guest on Desert Bus as well in recent years, and I say in recent years, for the last like 8 years. And she's appeared on other Loading Ready Run stuff as well, so that's interesting. But anyway, back to the song. The song itself has very few lyrics, obviously, and they're a bit cryptic in a way, and so I'm just going to run through them. We were playing in the sand, and you found a little band. You told me you fell in love with it, hadn't gone as I planned. When you had to bid adieu, said you'd never love anew. I wondered if I could hold it and fall in love with it too. You told me to buy a pony, but all I wanted was you. The big enigma here, like clearly this song is about lost love of some description, but the big enigma here is what is meant by you found a little band. The most common fan interpretation I see is a wedding band, a ring, you know, you found a little band. But I've seen people interpret it literally, like you found the band Tally Hall in a box, which is very funny. And I've seen other things that have more abstract meanings for it. There's a like official Tally Hall fan website called Hidden in the Sand, founded by Cos Baldwin, who unfortunately has since passed. And the Hidden in the Sand wiki, or the Tally Hallmanac, has just all sorts of details about everything that Tally Hall does. I've referenced it several times during this week, but it says that this song is referencing the Marcel Proust novel In Search of Lost Time. Apparently in the novel's second volume, the narrator becomes enamored with a little band of teenage girls as they stroll by the sea. Now, that's all well and good, but there's no citation, so I don't know if that's just conjecture on whoever edited this wiki, or if that was actually something that Joe said about it, but it's, again, another interesting interpretation of it. For me, I think of it more abstractly, as a lot of people do as well, that it's just about finding something distracting from the relationship, you know? And so ago. We were playing in the sand and you found a little band. You told me you fell in love with it, hadn't gone as I'd planned. So they were hanging out. She found something that distracted her from his love, and so he says it hadn't gone as he planned because he wanted her to fall in love with him instead. When you had to bid adieu, said you'd never love anew, I wondered if I could hold it and fall in love with it too. So now he's jealous, you know. When you're like saying goodbye, you said you'd never love anew, I wondered if I could hold it and fall in love with it too. He wants to be part of this because he wants her love as well. And then you told me to buy a pony, but all I wanted was you. Now, presumably, again, this is saying like, you know, you can get something to replace this, but all I wanted was you. It's not an acceptable substitute. Nowadays, it makes me think of the song Zebra by the Magnetic Fields, or Zebra as I should be saying, because that's how it's pronounced in the song. It's a song about a really demanding partner asking their partner to give them all these expensive gifts and stuff, and the like start of the chorus each time is, you know, but there's one thing I need for my days become ho-hum and blah, I want a zebra. And so you told me to buy a pony, but all I wanted was you. Makes me think of that now, but it's nothing to do with that, really. It's just an interesting side note. Anyway, just really interesting, sweet, sad lyrics about wanting to tell someone you love them and then them loving someone else or something else. I think it doesn't really have to go any further than that, and I just really like it. And at the end, you may notice that there's some reversed singing, or reverse speaking rather. That is a clip of Marvin Yagoda. Now, I mentioned Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum, but I don't think I actually mentioned the titular Marvin. Marvin Yagoda was the founder of Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum, and he ran it. He also, unfortunately, died in 2017. His son runs the business now. But there's a few clips of him on the album. I know there's 2 in Welcome to Tally Hall. I don't remember if there's any on the other songs, but then of course the album ends with this clip of him reversed. But if you play it forwards, what he says is, wouldn't the world be better off if we took nonsense seriously? And it's just like a little thing of whimsy, you know, which is very emblematic of the whole album and Tally Hall as a whole, because sometimes they have songs that are deep and meaningful, and sometimes they have songs that are just meant to be silly and weird. And so he's saying, wouldn't the world be better off if we took nonsense seriously? Like, just because we make goofy music doesn't mean that it's not good music, you know? I think that's how that ties in there, and it ties into all creative arts, really. I mean, silly art is still art. And I feel like that little quote just like completes the whole song and the whole album. Also, the music video that I mentioned, it was animated by Steve Loter, or Lauter, I don't actually know how to pronounce his name. He's an animator who's worked on a bunch of shows that you've seen or heard of, like Kim Possible, Duckman, Ren and Stimpy, American Dragon Jake Long, Ghost and Molly McGee, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. You know, he's done a bunch of stuff. He's actually the showrunner of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. But he animated this music video, and it's done in the, what's the word? It's not called hosepipe, is it? The old style of animation, like Steamboat Willie and things like that, where everything's black and white, and they have big eyes, and they're all like moving up and down in the time with music, you know, they got big hands, and it's like a captain on a boat playing a song on the ukulele and singing it, like singing the song. But when the buy a pony, but all I wanted was you bit hits, a bird pecks a hole in the ship, and the ship starts sinking, and people start going overboard and like jumping and falling into fire, and a cat eats all the mice and all this sort of stuff. It's great. You should watch it. Doesn't really have anything to do with the song, but it fits its kind of uneasy vibe, you know. Anyway, love this song, love this band, love this album. You should give them a listen. I'll definitely be talking about more of their stuff during the remainder of the show. But for now, that's it for Tally Hall week. Next week is Christmas week, and so of course I will be doing a mostly Christmas themed week. There is one song that is not Christmas themed during that week, but I'm doing that for a specific reason, so it's just how it is. But mostly I will be doing Christmassy themed songs, so look forward to that. And until then, thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think, tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
Find someone and you'll try, but you won't. That siren is pretty loud for me. You can probably hear it. Jesus. They're coming to take me away, haha. God, those sirens are still going. What is happening? This is what happens when you live right beside the police station and the fucking fire station. Well, that's an ambulance, actually. Followed by a police car. Ooh, dear. That's no fun. Anyway, that's all well and good, but there's no citation. Citation.